What's going on, YouTube? Jedi Knight back with another video. Before I get into the topic today, I want to first state that my boy I Am English has put out the much more modest BitConnect $10,000 challenge. And sir, I do indeed accept your challenge. your boy Michael Crypto and Craig Grant and all them big hitters, man, I can't do that, $100,000 challenge, at least not yet. I feel like I need to take baby steps before I attempt swinging my bat in the big leagues. With that said, though, yeah, I indeed accept the challenge. And with that said, I will be beginning with my $1,180 active investment and moving on from there. So I'm starting with this amount at the time of my entry into this $10,000, what is the word? Can't even think right now. Event. I'll leave it at event because I can't think of another word right now. With that said, though, I want to give a shout out to a YouTuber, person that I'm sub to. His name is C. Anderson. I'm going to leave the link to this video in the description of this one. And I want you guys to check this out. He had a vlog, turn $100 into a BitConnect $1 million money tree. And the thing about it is that he takes, over 20 minutes giving you the breakdown of his spreadsheet. And the way he mapped out the spreadsheet, I thought was, genius. So I just straight up asked him. I told him that I thought the video was, great. And I thought his spreadsheet that he made was great as well. Is it possible that he can email it to me? And I, sent the email address. He got back to me, and then, he indeed emailed it to me. And here it goes. So with that said, I want to say on record that I highly appreciate C. Anderson's effort with this spreadsheet as well as providing it to me. We do have others here that, have made spreadsheets as well. I've seen them, but, generally if you want to have access to it, you have to, join under their referrals. And, with Anderson, I simply asked, the man passed it to me. So much respect on that. What I like about it, one is just a plethora of things. With my breakdown that I was using personally, I just had, days and, the amount and then the interest and then, the ending result going all the way down. He has everything color coded above what is what, active loans, date of loans, the amounts, the capital release, the bonus percentages, bonus payments, cumulative bonus, things that, are also relevant into figuring out what you're doing when you're doing your compounding interest, so you can have a clearer idea of how you're making this money on this upward curve, right? Also, it goes all the way down to $1 million, and he was able to have a total active investment of $1 million starting from just $100 and reinvesting every single day that you can for 3 years. And this actually ended, if I'm correct, a little bit below 3 years. I think it was right here. Day 977 from the first day, he was able to have an active investment of $1 million with an average percentage of 0.9%. And with that, you are bringing in, about $12,000 a day. And this all started 3 years ago from $100. There are a lot of people out there, who are either criticizing, they feel some type of way about this program. I got this new thing. That's your opinion. You can have it. At the end of the day, a lot of people felt similarly about Bitcoin. I was one of them. When I came across Bitcoin, I think it was 2011, 2012, it was ridiculous to me. Boy, was I wrong. I've said that multiple times in multiple videos that I've done. At the end of the day, this is a new service. It's a new coin, and we're the testers of it. And If it falls on its face, it falls on its face, you know. But if it doesn't, then just like what Bitcoin was for people who got in, when it was $2 and nobody cared, you know, it could, be something similar, just with a service and not just the coin. Um, One thing that I also like is that my initial plan was to just get up to 100,000 in active investments and kind of just level off from there. I put this purple highlight here is because, of course, it starts at $100, but given my investment now, I'm closer to 1,200. So I was able to skip 283 days just by, having the 1,180. So in 2 days, I'll be up to 1,200. The reason being why I did that was, let me go back here. You see that I have 1,180. Earlier today, I put in another 300 and then added that to the active investment. And then later on in the day at 4:41, I had some cash came in and I just reinvested it. So it put me up to 1,180. Um, the reason why I picked this number here generally, at first it was $1,250. And the reason being is at 1,250, if I multiply that by 0.8, it would bring me up to exactly $10. Because on my breakdown, I had a slightly more conservative number on my average. On this spreadsheet, C. Anderson uses a average interest rate of 0.9. On mine, I was using 0.8, right? Um, but I think he had a point with his system. It's only a zero point 0.1 difference, but quite frankly, we've been meeting those, numbers. We've been hitting 0.9, 1%, 1.5%. I think for the past 2 days, after we had that, 0% day where nobody got a payout, we had 2 days after that where I think it was 1.7% 2 days in a row. Today I think is 0.95, and I think tomorrow is 0.93. So it seems like that 0.9 percent is still pretty conservative. So with that said, let me do it. 0.9%. So basically, I'm averaging $10.62 a day, and the reason why is that, as you can see with daily investments, you can only reinvest once you hit the $10 mark, and this is why it takes so long when you start at $10, right? You got to get up to the 261st day. On the 262nd day, excuse me, that's when you start to see that you're getting it on the daily, So that's why I picked this number. It's because I'm pretty much guaranteed a daily reinvestment. And when you start to see the parabolic move in this compounding interest um, philosophy, this way of going about growing the wealth, the reason why it grows so quickly is because you're able to reinvest on the daily. So it goes from you not being able to reinvest daily to you being able to reinvest daily, but only at $10, and then it'll get to 20, and then it'll get to 30, and then to 40, and then to 50, and then it's off to the races, right? And and since this gets one thing that I did on my spreadsheet was I had it to where I was going to reinvest every day until I got to 200, and yeah, it wasn't 250, it was $200, and then every week I would just hold until I got to 1,000 and then reinvest that. But what C. Anderson did was he didn't wait till 200 like I would have. He waited until 50 became the daily payout, and then he held. and I think he said it was for 20 days he held. And then when he got to $1,010, that's when he made the investment. And yeah, it seems like 20 days, but what occurs is you get the bonus payment. And this is what I really loved about this spreadsheet in comparison to my own. I didn't have these things separated like that to where you can see the amount of money you were making, but also separate from the bonus payments as well as what was left in your lending wallet after you've made the reinvestments. It's just nuts, you know. So as you can see, is it starts off with $1.01, you know, on the daily as a bonus payment that's guaranteed to you. Now you're in the guaranteed phase once you make this reinvestment. Any monies that is generated from this loan, there's a particular percentage that is guaranteed, right? So once you go and you make it again, then it's compounding now. You know, you've made these and you're making money off of just the general reinvestment of the thousand, but also you're beginning to compound on the bonus payments as well. So you're making those and it's just generally going up. You know, it started at 1, now it's at 6, and it's at 7, and it's at 8, 9, you know, and then you keep making these, and I notice that he stops here, and then he holds once again. And then he gets to that 5,000 and then reinvest because this is a higher guaranteed percentage. And then you notice how at one point it was at 1 and now it's at 20. It's oh man, it's just so genius how he went about it, you know. So like I said, I really appreciate Mr. Anderson. I like saying that, Mr. Anderson from the Matrix. I appreciate Mr. Anderson sending me this spreadsheet, and this is actually what I am going to go off of on my way to establishing my wealth on this side of the cryptosphere, the cryptoverse. There will still be some other things that I dib and dab in, but this is what I'm going to be doing. And also, when I do my BitConnect video, since I'm at the amount that I want it to be at, this will be considered day one. Since I have a spreadsheet, which is better than mine, I can just use that. And I also accepted I am English $10,000 challenge. Um, I am not gonna put any more of like my own work cash in here. A little bit of this was cash that I worked for. A little bit was from cash that had grown from Litecoin and Siacoin. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just keep this in regards to putting in Bitcoin and exchanging like my cash and throwing that in there at least for now. Um, there's some other cash coming from an apartment that I have, but I think I'm going to start that next year when I start adding that in order to speed up the time. But my main purpose here is to show the referrals. When I do my videos daily showing when I reinvest, I'm going to make sure that you guys know that there is no villain default team. I don't have any referrals. Not saying that I'm hating on referrals, but I want to be able to have a documented, course to where you can also see that you can do it without referrals. A lot of the times the criticism is, hey, well, you couldn't have done this without a whole bunch of referrals, and this is how you did it. Well, once I get to the 300-day mark, and then the initial cash is released, I have no referrals, and whether I reinvest that money again will be up to me. But the moment that occurs, then it kind of defeats the you can only do it with referrals, right? And then once I'm able to complete that process, then I will go about putting out my referral link, because one, you can say that I've been there and done that. You can't say that I'm referring people and only trying to get the referral money. It'll be up to you to figure out how this works. I've already done videos on it. If you want to listen to others who say that it's a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid scheme, that is also up to you. If you have any sort of concern about this, then best beware and don't join. Join the things that those other people are into, and best of luck to you. With that said, though, I'm not going to be touching the referrals until the initial 300 days is done and then the money is released. So there's documentation that BitConnect has done the entire process from taking the money, giving the daily investments, and then releasing the funds at the end. So there is no issue from there. There is no what ifs, right? I mean, there's always going to be what ifs in terms of, you know, this could happen, that can happen. I mean, this is investing, and there's a level of risk to everything that you do. But I'm talking about things that I don't have answers to right now. And at the end of the day, I can't talk about what I have not completed yet, right? So until that aspect of this is complete, that's the reason why I'm going to show this and show that until I get to that stage, that I'm not going to be dealing with any referrals. So we can have a nice, clean 300 days of showing that it is very possible to make cash without referrals. So with that out of the way, the first day, $1,180. I will make a video tomorrow once the 0.98% interest is put in. I currently have $1.65, and this 0.43, that's about half a BitConnect coin. It's 57.53. That's about $26 right there, sitting there. That'll stay there until, I don't know, I guess until it turns to $100, and then I'll put it in, right? Actually, no, I should just take that out, exchange it again, but I don't like paying those fees. Just the transaction fees. I'll keep it here. I was thinking about doing something with Saya Coin, but I got stuff on the side for that. Um, yeah. With that said, this is Jedi Knight. I accept the challenge, and you guys know that I will be doing C. Anderson's breakdown on my way to 100,000. And once I get to 100,000, I may just want to push that 1 million. We'll see. Oh, before I go, think about this, right? He has a breakdown of how you can make from 100 to 1 million in 3 years. Yeah, we have people who, at least in the States, I'm a U.S. citizen, but I live outside of the U.S. We have people, in the States who are taking out $20, $30, $40,000 a year in student loans. Most of the time, once they graduate, they enter the workforce, and they end up working in a field that had nothing to do with what they went to school for, right? Imagine if you told a kid graduating from high school, right? Look, instead of spending all that money, you know, to be told that you're smart and to get a degree and put yourself in massive debt before you even got your career off the ground, how about once you graduate high school, you find maybe like a vocational school or a trade school, learn a skill, something with your hands, something that you can do, something that's relevant, that people would need, that you can provide a service for. And then when you do that, you can probably have a job like at Old Navy or McDonald's or whatever, you decide that you're going to work. When you graduate high school, you're 17 years old, you're probably going to be living with your parents for maybe another year or two. I mean, with me, I left my parents' house when I was 17. But sometimes, kids stay there till they're 20, right? Say if your first check, when you get it, you probably get a nice $3, $4, $500 check from McDonald's or Old Navy or the Gap or, wherever you decide that you're gonna work, right? And then you take $100 of that and you do this program. And within 3 years, you will have an active investment of $1 million in 3 years before your friends graduate college in debt in 4 years. And during the 3 years, you was able to learn a trade just in case. I'm just saying. With that said, man, this spreadsheet is awesome. Thank you for sending this to me, Anderson. Anyway, I'm going to leave his page in the description. Till next time, Jedi Knight out.